Saw the ocean swallow you. Through the haze, I searched for you. Trying to find where I had you. If you could feel my fire reach for you, flames draw high out to you. Street light shines through my window, and it trembles for you.
Hi, this is Taylor, and we're here at the Midway State, Nathan and Mike, and we're doing an interview for mindyourmind.ca. So you guys have been together since you were 14, around that?
Yeah, I mean, we've been all making music in our own right since we were 14, and bands are sort of the kind of thing that just they're malleable and they form. We've been as we are now for about 5 years.
Okay, so how did it all come together? How did the Midway State really start?
Well, me and our drummer Danon, we started playing music together in high school, and after high school we decided we were gonna keep fighting the good fight, and we moved to Toronto, and that's where we met Mike, and Mike had been making music with the other Mike, and then we were.
Hey. Some of your musical influences are listed as U2, Radiohead, Sigur Rós, and Michael Jackson. So if you had like the chance to collaborate with any other artist, who would it be and why?
Oh, jeez.
Anyone that you think of?
Dead or alive?
Right now, I mean, a million, but I guess the other day we were talking about some album that Mark Ronson, this UK producer, was working on. So that's the first thing that's coming to mind right in this moment, but maybe not.
Yeah, I've heard you talk about Mark Ronson before. For sure, that'd be cool.
So speaking of collaborations, you recorded a song with Lady Gaga.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
Your eyes just lit up.
Yeah, when I read that, I was wonderstruck. So, but the song was never released.
Yeah,
Why?
well, today the cool thing is it can be on YouTube, and it's released all over the world. Yeah. It was never officially released as a single, but it was never meant to be a single. It's a song called Don't Give Up, which was originally done by Peter Gabriel and Kate Bush.
Oh, yeah.
And Gaga's a huge fan of Kate Bush, and we're big fans of it, and yeah, it just kind of came together, and we were really happy with it.
Yeah. So what was most memorable about working with her?
About working with her? Well, when we shot the video, I was wearing a black pea coat, and she was all covered in like a metallic skin kind of paint, tons and tons and tons of it all across, like as she usually is.
Oh, yeah.
So for the next like 5 days, I was just finding sparkles all over in places you'd never believe.
So who are your biggest inspirations growing up?
Growing up, how about you?
I think the first thing that really got me going on music was the kind of stuff my parents were listening to and giving to me, which was the Beach Boys and the Beatles, a little bit of jazz, and a lot of that stuff that was given from my parents is really what sparked the interest for me.
I think I was more inspired by like Doug Gilmour and Felix Potvin when I was young. The Maple Leafs inspired me to do something great. Yeah, Wendell Clark, number 7.
What motivates you or generally inspires you on a normal day?
Yeah, that's really interesting. I find a lot, like I'm often kind of waiting for inspiration or just being open to it. And I think that the first part of it is just having an open mindset and understanding with yourself internally that that's your job and that you're going to give yourself over to being available when that inspiration comes so that you can turn it into a song. And make sure that your head isn't somewhere else focused on other things and distracted, because then if the inspiration comes, you're not there to cater to it.
And
But yeah, it could be anything. It could be a beautiful day, the sun, or a really nice movie, or a girl, or anything, you know.
So who are your favorite artists right now?
This week, I've been listening to a lot of this girl named St. Vincent, or her group St. Vincent, from somewhere in the States. Been into that a lot.
This year I listened to, I sound probably a little stupid, but I never heard the White Album before by the Beatles. Yeah.
Really?
You laughed, exactly.
Yeah.
But I listened to that like all year. It's awesome.
So you guys seem like really down-to-earth guys. Like that's pretty much the general consensus.
Yeah, we are. Oh, yeah.
So being on tour, you guys are on the Maybe I'm Lost and I Like It tour for the fall. How do you stay grounded and connected to your family and friends?
Skype, the phone. Actually, I don't keep in, not that we're not grounded, but it is actually kind of tough to keep in touch with people at home. It's not hard in that you can get a hold of people, but you feel very distant from home just because your lifestyle changes so drastically being on the road.
Oh, yeah.
So we're kind of like this little traveling circus or summer camp, and we kind of live in this little bubble for a month.
Yeah.
You go home and you get back in touch with your friends and your family, and it's great, but I kind of do feel separated when we go away.
Yeah, I agree.
So everyone can get overwhelmed at times, especially when you're on tour, having such like you said, a drastic change in your schedule. So what helps you cope with and deal with stress or hard times?
That's been like in the last year or the last couple of years, we had to make a new record, and in this business, there's lots of things that can stress you out on a day-to-day business. The highs are really high and sometimes the lows are really low. So I think for me, it's just been a matter of trying to get to the bottom, the fundamental properties of what I'm trying to do, and reminding myself of why I'm making music and what is the main reason for me to be creating that art. And then a lot of the sort of peripheral things that might stress you out on a day-to-day basis, be it if maybe like in our business, maybe your record's not selling enough, or a song is not getting played on the radio as much as you'd like it to, or not enough people came to your show, or things like that. But I find if I just focus on the fundamental, real, genuine, important things between music and myself, then I feel better.
That's right. It's what you love to do, right?
Yeah,
So.
I really do, yeah.
So at mindyourmind.ca, young people can find ways to help their friends that may be struggling with mental health issues. So have you helped a friend in the past, or how has a friend helped you?
Yeah, for sure. I can count tons of times. Myself and my friends where, you've been in a dark place. And, for me anyway, from my experience, it's always easiest when you feel like you can approach the people around you and you value their opinions and you trust them. So I don't know, my whole life and I'm realizing more and more now, surrounding yourself with the right people, the right friends, the right family members is really important, and being open to sharing with them,
Yeah, I agree. For me too, I almost learned that just in the last year about how really being aware of who and what you're surrounding yourself with, because it plays such a big part into how you feel or how you think about yourself or how you think about things.
Yeah, for sure. So do you guys have any quotes, lyrics, philosophies that you live by on a day-to-day basis?
No,
let me think.
yeah, that's a good
It's a tough one.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
I like the quote, "Not all that glitters is gold." That's a good one. And we on this tour is called "Maybe I'm Lost and I Like That," or from that song St. Paul, it says everybody's got to lose sometimes, and that was something that I wrote, to sort of help make myself feel better one day, where I was kind of feeling down and not fitting in, and things weren't exactly going in the way that I suspected, or I was confused. But it's good to remember that, you're not always going to win. Everyone's got to lose sometimes, and that's okay. That's life.
Yeah. You've got your thinking face on.
It's still doing it, exactly.
That first quote, "Not all that glitters is gold," is from Lord of the Rings.
I've actually never seen the movie.
What?
So I've never seen it.
There's a lot of good quotes in Lord of the Rings.
Okay. So on your YouTube channel, there are a few acoustic songs, and you did one for Fire. It was really good.
Thanks.
So do you prefer those small acoustic intimate performances, or are you more into big, loud, full-out ones?
It's kind of like yin and yang. We do so many full band electric loud shows that when we get the opportunity to do something quiet and acoustic or intimate, it's really refreshing and nice because you're more connected to the people you're playing for.
Oh yeah.
There's sort of less noise in the way.
Yeah, exactly.
So your debut album, Holes, came out in 2008?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a long time ago.
I know, time
Yeah.
really flies.
Yeah. So your new album, Paris in India, is out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, what would be your favorite song off of your latest album?
It always kind of changes, like depending, in the studio. I really like the song Lightning, and it really worked really well in the studio. But then when we play it live, it doesn't quite do the same thing for me, so I don't like it as much live. But lately, we have a song called Paris or India.
Yeah.
Mike wrote a really cool outro guitar part for it for us to play in the live show, and so it's fresh and it's new and it feels inspired, and that's my favorite right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that's all the questions I have. Thank you guys so much for doing the interview.
Yeah, thank you very much.
This is the Midway State for mindyourmind.ca.
Later.